So, I discovered, you know what rhymes with orange? Well, actually, it doesn't. Smoking can kill you, by the way, and bacon, if you have too much, can kill you. But you know what? Smoking bacon will cure it. And once I was
sorry,
that's okay. Once I was arrested for identity theft, but I was a different person back then. Right, I'll just leave it there. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to the Black Dog 252. I'm Lee.
I'm Darren.
I'm Jim Curry.
Okay.
there goes my one. Damn it. I'm Elton.
And this week, Zulu Bravo Zulu. We'll be seeing how everyone's week's been, and then we'll be on to warfare. So let's just get on with it and see how everyone's week's been. You can tell how this review's going to go, I think, already. I don't know why, but it's something in the air just gives me a nice sense I know where we're going with this. Let's start with how our weeks were. So, Jim, how was your week, sir?
It's been a bit of a mixed bag.
Oh, okay.
So, last night, just gone to bed, and we have the heating set to come on just around 11 o'clock for half an hour, just to warm the house up before we settle down to bed. We were reading in bed, and we had the heating come on because the combi boiler thing is in our bedroom.
Yep.
And then I heard a dripping noise.
Oh,
so is it raining outside?
Oh no!
I thought that sounds a bit near for outside, and no, it was inside. So our boiler is leaking.
God,
lovely.
Yep. So it's kind of today we're going to try and get the friendly neighbourhood heating engineer. His van's broken down, so he's out of action today.
God.
It's like, oh Christ!
Was he laying in bed and all of a sudden heard dripping?
Well,
is that petrol?
It could be catching.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's kind of. I know the guy I'm going to. He's kind of he comes every now and again to service the boiler every year or so. And he did say on the last service a few months ago, I think some of the bits in there are probably going to pack up, and basically when they do, it's not going to be worth the money to repair them. Basically,
right?
So I think we've reached that dreaded day I wasn't looking forward to, which is let's go shopping for a new boiler, probably. Yeah, so that's not great. But it might not come to that. You might just, the boiler's completely locked down because it's handy gave me an error code which I was able to look up, and basically it's locked the boiler down so it can't ignite. And one of the reasons for this error code is moisture on the electronics. So, I think I know what's happened here. It might just be a loose seal's gone somewhere, and it might. But probably going to have to start thinking about saving a new boiler regardless, because these things. Once something starts to go, it's usually all downhill.
Yeah,
and to be honest, I've been in here since 2012.
Yes,
and the boiler I think was about a year old then. Well, I'd never had any trouble with the thing, so I can't complain. But even so, it's like, oh, don't do this now. But again, we're on holiday next week, so I'm glad it didn't do it then.
Oh, God.
So we didn't come home to like a soaking wet bedroom.
Jesus.
However, I also have good news.
Oh, yes.
Recently, I had a CT scan and a few other little tests to see how my treatment is going. And last week, I went up to James Cook Hospital to see the immunotherapy specialist, a nice lady called Sarah, to get the results.
Right.
And she always likes to give you the results in person so she can, show you actually the actual scans and whatnot. And that's always a bit fraught. I've been through being known for many, many times now.
Yeah.
But it's always kind of that's when my chilled out composure to having lung cancer starts to crack a bit, and you start to worry.
Yeah.
That's when I started to worry, particularly like the couple of days before. But she came in out. She didn't have a laptop. I thought that's a good sign.
Yes.
Because that means she isn't going to show me in depth anyway. But
Right.
as it is, it all's looking pretty good.
Really?
The immunotherapy seems to be doing its job. The cancer stopped spreading, and
Nice.
all that the inflammation basically burns from radiotherapy. Radiation burns basically. That's all actually healing up nicely.
Nice.
Which doesn't always happen. Sometimes you get damage and you're stuck with it.
Mm.
But it's all looking good. So basically, unless something changes, it's just carry on with the monthly treatments, and I'll have another scan probably just before the end to see how it's going.
Right.
Sort of after the summer, and no more hospital appointments. I've got a couple of telephone appointments booked just to see how things are in a couple of months' time. But so other than that, kind of side effects wise, the blood work showed I'm actually deficient in vitamin D.
You need
But
to
as
get
you
out.
said,
of-
We all.
Yes, that's what she said. But said, as everyone in the country is at the minute, after 40 days of rain. But so mine are like unusually low. But my calcium levels are good, which is unusual because usually you vitamin D is what your body uses to make calcium.
Mm.
So, but basically, I said, "Oh well, I have a word with your GP," and so I've got some tablets to take, a 7-week course of tablets just to sort that out.
Yeah.
But that's pretty good. Oh God, more tablets. But actually, that turns out pretty good as well. I have to take 2 once a week
Wow.
for 7 weeks, with no strings. No, just before meals, no standing on one leg, no, avoiding sugar puffs, no looking funny at a cat while you take them. None of all these other sort of arcane things you get with some pills. Just, take 2 once a week, whenever you like. Fine,
Yeah.
brilliant, sorted, good result, like that.
Yeah. Take the win.
Yep. So,
Definitely.
but so hopefully, it's like she said, that might be why you should have got. It's probably why you're often feeling tired. I mean, you get tiredness as a result of fucking anything they treat you for cancer.
Yeah.
But hopefully, this will just might take the edge off that a bit. So I'm pretty pleased.
Yeah.
So it's kind of that's looking. Things are looking positive, and everything's going as it should. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased about that.
Nice. Oh, good
Good.
news. Good news indeed. Excellent. Well, I would say anything else, but I mean that's quite a good positive kind of.
Yeah, I'm
vibe.
going to leave it there, not ruin it.
Everything's great. Oh, well, except for Jen, you've ruined it. Don't. Yes. Did you manage? One question: did you manage to unglue Teresa from the guttering?
Yes, she is now free of the roof.
Oh, she is now free of the roof. Well, that's good. As long as that's been done, that's cool. Cool. Okay. Well, now that we're clear of that, we're over to the pheasant warrior. That is Elton.
Pheasant warrior.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I did think of you when I saw a pheasant in the local field this week. I thought, I wonder how Elton's doing.
I'm so glad that reminds you of me. That's
does,
wonderful to hear.
I'm not the pheasant plucker. I'm the pheasant plucker, son.
Oh, don't finish that sentence. You're not very good
Like a pheasant till the pheasant plucker comes.
Don't. Anyway, Elton, how's your week, sir?
Achy. So this weekend, I was taken to my very first game of paddle.
What the hell's paddle?
It's
rowing?
like no.
No.
It's like tennis / squash.
Right.
So you
Tosh. No? Okay.
no
No?
paddle.
Paddle.
Paddle. Yes, paddle.
Okay.
Squiddish?
No, paddle.
Squillish.
Yeah, go on, carry on. No.
And it's like tennis, and it's played in a glass box, a bit like the cube.
How big is this glass box?
Big. It's big enough to fit like a tennis court in. So,
right, okay.
So big.
You never tell. It was just
really
it's
tiny.
pretty sort of vague. Described as a glass box. Is it like coffin size? Because I can't see that being very entertaining at all. How would you swing your arms?
Here we go. Go on, Helen.
Keep bashing your head in the walls all the time. It's not good.
I'm recording live from my dining room table where they left me.
If I rock this box backwards and forwards, I may be able to fall off the table and free myself.
Isn't this a level of Tomb Raider? I'm sure it is.
Yeah, sort of doom. Anyway, go on, carry on. So you've done paddle.
Yeah, so I'm sure it's called paddle. Yeah, it's paddle, and you have these weird, strange rackets.
Are they paddles?
They are kind of paddles, yes.
Right, go on.
Paddly, anyway. And fuckers. No, actually, no, nothing happened this week. No.
Go on, Elton. Go on. Sorry, man, I can't help myself.
Now you've done paddle, are you going to get into the sister games of backstroke and breaststroke? Are you going to? No? Not at all?
So anyway, yes. So you yeah.
So it's like a tennis court. You have a net in the middle, and you have these weird racket paddle type things knocking a tennis ball over a net.
Right.
But the good thing is, if you miss it, and you can get the timing right, you can hit the ball against the glass panel behind you and try and get it over the net that way. So you've got like a second chance.
Oh, right. Okay. I got you.
Where the squash type thing comes into things.
Yeah. So as long as it hasn't stopped moving, you're all right. Is that basically it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And God, my body reminded me that I'd played the next day.
Right.
Sometimes I can get away with it. This time I didn't. My Achilles were like guitar strings when I woke up the next morning. I stood up and it was like
did the opening to Shine on You Crazy Diamond.
Yeah. Bing, bing. So I tippy-toed to the shower. Yeah, sometimes I can get away with it, and you're like, wow, that was all right. I did some exercise and that was fine. But yeah, it was really good fun. Actually, it was really good fun. Really good game. There was 5 of us, and we were just like rotating around and swapping teams and just having general fun. It's like £10 for an hour.
All right,
and then I think you have to rent out the bats, the rackets, or the paddles, or whatever they're called. I can't work out whether a bat, a racket, or a paddle. But a racket, I think, has strings, so they're not a racket.
Okay, there you go.
So there's somewhere between the two.
Somewhere.
A battle?
A packet?
It's more like a swing ball bat. Like
right,
yes. Oh, one of them.
Yeah, but now because there's a big whole movement of people doing paddle, now they're selling for like £50 to £300 on eBay.
How much?
Well, someone's got to make money out of this.
Yeah, make money, not fleece you like a fucking sheep.
Well, I mean, that's the world we live in now.
Great. So my question is, are you going to go again?
I probably will go again, yes.
Yeah?
It was good fun. It was nice to actually get a bit of exercise running around. Because, man, I haven't run for a long time. Such a long time.
A long time. Yeah.
But I'm not going to dive into it and buy all the stuff straight away or anything like that. No, I've just had a game, really enjoyed it. We'll definitely do it again, though. So if anyone's looking to do this, then give it a go. It's fun. It's really, really good.
Nice.
But that was it. That's all I did.
That's it.
Yeah.
So you did so much exercise with a paddle that you basically knackered yourself for the rest of the week.
Yeah, I was broken. I was a broken husk.
Sounding like Dave Gilmore tuning up every time you walked around the house.
That slide guitar in the background? No, it's just Elton walking.
Yeah, hang on. Hang on. I think this is the beginning to Wish You Were Here. No, he's just getting out of the shower. Okay, right, fine. Well, in which case, yeah, don't do exercise. It's dangerous.
Yes, don't do that. Silly.
Just say no. It's silly. Right. Speaking of silly, Darren, how's your week?
A bit weird, really. I was
Okay.
out and about, and some bloke came up to me and went, "Islamophobia," and I went, "No, lambs are meat, not a phobia."
Now you know how I feel.
You know what? I'm really regretting going to that Bukaki party in the dark. I don't know what came over me.
You just got to face up to it now. That's what.
Sorry, I've been watching the new Mock the Week, and it's like there's a couple on there. Oh, fuck, you've got to take those.
Nice.
But no, this week did a couple of adulty things.
Really? We're talking about the Bukaki again, are we?
No, not that way. No. I had to go for an X-ray this week. I've been getting pain down the sides,
Right.
and it's like I wouldn't normally bother with that sort of thing. I'd probably put it down to muscle pain, but it's like Mum's had cancer, so has Dad. Very, very, very slight. And they all got caught really, really early. So it's like anything now that happens, and of course, you know, listening to Jim's sort of adventures in that kind of world, it's like, you know what? I think anything like that, maybe I'll get it checked out. Fortunately, the results came back and there's nothing wrong there. So
Did the plate just come back with the computer readout that just went, he old?
Yeah, he old. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. This is a man that does his back in just by breathing in. Although Reed
Do not
beat
play
you this-
paddle.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah.
Do paddle.
But although Reed's beaten my record now, whereas my sort of like lowest point has been breathing in and doing my back in. She was just sat on a chair this week, just did mind her own business. All of a sudden, her back just went. It's like, what? Is the old person here? So she's been in really bad sort of pain for most of the week, but she's kind of through the worst of it now. So
That's good.
One more time.
Right.
What's the other thing I did this week? Oh yes, I changed, and this is the first time I've ever done this, because normally the companies I've been with have just been sort of like sucked up into other companies, and I've just moved on.
Yeah.
And I changed my phone provider this week.
Okay.
I've been with E for a while.
Is this where we've got to now?
I was going to say, is this what's happened with our lives? That we...
No, this is good. This is good. I promise you, this is good.
Okay.
So I've been looking around for to just somewhere just to get out of being with E, because it's like I'm paying nearly 50 quid, I think, and I get 3 minutes, or should I say, 3 minutes and free text and 30 gigs worth of data for that much, and it's like, surely I could get a better deal.
With
and I found
EE?
one. Yeah, with E. Right, I
E
found a better
or
deal.
EE?
E. That one. E. Those people that sort of like give you a free ibuprofen if you sign up to them.
Hey, steady on, deep cut.
Yeah. So E.
Shots fired.
So E. Gromit. So yeah. So I
charging.
fantastic. So yeah, I found a much better deal online. There's a company called EcoTalk, which is it's to do with nature and stuff like this. Chris Packham's part of the company, and they put all their profits to wildlife, helping get the sort of environment back up and running. They're only a SIM company, But with them, I've got free. Totally free minutes, totally free text, and I've got unlimited data for £22, and the signal is better than E. I'm actually sat on the I sat on the train. I thought, right, okay, let's see how good this is. Let's see how long I can watch a YouTube video for. So I found a particularly long one, and I made it all the way from my station all the way into London without it breaking once.
Right.
So, yeah, really easy to set up. And if you're, you feel a bit awkward breaking with your old mobile phone company, they'll do all that for you. You just get the pack code, and that's it. And that was really funny as well. When I actually sent the text message through to get the pack code, within 30 seconds, I got a call from E wanting to just trying to find out why I was asking for a pack code to move on. They were trying to convince me to stay. And they were going to offer me a £9 a month deal with the same stuff I had. But it's like, well, why are you waiting until I'm leaving to offer me this? I've been a customer of yours for a while. Why not just, go out and actually offer it? It's like, Darren, you've been with us for like 15, 16 years. Would you like a little bit more money off your bill?
Yep.
So it's like, no, fuck that. Plus, also, with this new company, I can leave them at any time. I don't need to give, I don't need to wait like 28 months before you can get out your contract. It's a continuous thing. So it's like pay as you go, but it's not. It's it's monthly pay. And it's just really, really good. So I'm really, really happy with that. So if anybody's thinking of switching up, go look up Eco Talk and, just see what you think.
The Black Dog Podcast is not sponsored by Eco Talk.
Eco Talk.
Eco Talk, where everything's green with envy.
Bear with me a minute. Okay, Mr. Peckham, where's that 50 quid? Thank you. Cheers. You can go.
We're saving the environment one electronic eating device at a time. Yeah.
No, they are very good, and their customer service is brilliant as well. It's none of this sort of like text talk on the internet. I'm going to get a room.
Get a room.
So so Eco Talk, very, very good. Right, I'm done now.
Oh, Chris. Yep. Nobody could make a telephone service like you.
Having sex with Chris Packham and only paying 22 quid for it. Fuck you. Fuck you with your 70 quid fucking phone bill each month.
Hey, my 70 quid phone bill includes the internet that's doing me 500 meg a second, and also Now TV and Netflix and 3 phones. Which we shared
three phones?
Yeah. I got
2 burners?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Wonderful.
2 burners, Lee. I invented the internet. See, I'm quick.
You're very quick. Yes.
You don't get this kind of shit on Mock the Week, man. You have to script it.
Yeah.
No, actually, yeah. So Katie and Lisa's on my account, and we get those 2 phones plus mine, plus the internet, plus Now TV and Netflix, and it all comes to
takeaway
60 quid.
each week. Free Triumph Vongole. You can sit in comfort in its heated roof gardens.
Exactly.
Go for a swim in its plunge pools. Triumph Vongole is one hell of a bike.
Tricycle, yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, so yes, we do not take financial advice from the Black Dog Podcast.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Terms and condition may apply.
Right. Okay. Well, my week is fairly straightforward. This weekend, Katie came up to visit, so that was nice. Went to the pub with her. It's a very strange thing going to the pub with your kids. It's a very odd thing, in your mind. 5 minutes ago, you were wiping their ass and sending them off to school and all this kind of shit. Next thing you know, you're like, hang on,
They're
What?
wiping your ass and sending you off to bed. I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Yeah, advising me to take zero alcohol Guinness and that sort of thing.
Have you had your Sanatogen?
Yes.
Dad.
Have you?
Sanatogen.
your-
Sanatogen.
It's ibuprofen, not ibuprofen.
Ibuprofen.
Ibuprofen. So that was nice. Things I watched this week. Now that I've got Now TV, thanks to EE. They've just upgraded to include HBO Max in the actual subscription. So I've now got HBO Max, which is kind of mad. So I've noticed that I've got Veep, the Armando Iannucci thing.
Very good.
So I was like, oh, I'll have that. So I started watching that, and it's very good. If you like the thick of it, it's exactly the same, but with American politics. And it doesn't matter if you don't know American politics or you don't want to know about American politics, because it's all the same kind of dramas of just interpersonal relationships in the vice president's office. It's very funny. I can't even begin to sort of describe some of the situations, because it's one of those knock-on things where everyone gets more and more stressed and fucked up. And a masterclass in swearing as ever. So I've started watching that, and I'm very pleased with that. Second thing was, in one of our darker moments of trying to scroll through the internet to find something to actually fucking watch in an evening, which isn't Veep, I stumbled across something for a bit of a nostalgia thing, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to watch this, because I didn't even know that it was on any streaming service. And that thing was Monkey.
Oh my God.
It's actually on Amazon Prime.
Yes.
Both seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, oh my God, I'm going to go check this out. So I put it on. Within 2 minutes, da, 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 da. It's a monkey magic. The music's all playing. I'm like, I'm transported back to the 1970s. Give me some of this. Woohoo! At which point, I suddenly realised that I didn't actually know much of the story of Monkey. Have you watched the first episode at all?
Oh yes, we found Monkey a while ago and revisited it.
Yes.
Oh, what you mean, the one where he goes for a wee up the back of the pillars of
But his
wisdom?
fingers.
Yeah, not just that. Oh no. You should listen to the narration, because the narrator has a salacious way of describing certain things, which completely flew over little 7-year-old and 8-year-old me's head. Things like, for example, the Emperor, the Dragon Emperor. Yeah, one of these guys that at the start who gets really annoyed with Monkey because Monkey wants to fight everyone. Yeah. He's introduced right at the very start. This Dragon Emperor guy. He's introduced, and the narrator goes, "This is the Dragon Emperor." Now, obviously, the other thing you ought to get over is the fact that there is obviously an English guy doing a very Mickey Rooney, me so sorry Chinese accent, which is just like you're sitting here with modern sensibilities going, what the fuck is this? But this Dragon Emperor turns up, and they go, the Dragon Emperor came to the temple to consult with the lady Mishimura, or whatever her name is. He goes, and she was here to tend to his business. And you're like,
oh, okay.
Did you put emphasis on there for any reason? And then you notice that the pair of them are kind of eyeing each other up in a way, and you're like, oh my God. The Emperor's knocking about in a whorehouse. And it was on BBC Two, and I was seeing it as a 7-year-old. And the voiceover guy is trying to tell you that he went for business and to attend to some personal stress relief. And you're like, the fucking what? And the rest of the show is just barking mad. And I was sitting there going, I'm sure it was a lot more professional than this. People weren't just demons because they were wearing felt hats with pokey ears on them. Oh, apparently they were. Oh, and yeah, it was a proper Clash of the Titans moment of going, oh my god, Monkey, this is going to be so good. And then 5 minutes later, there's this kind of like view of me going, what on earth am I watching?
Yeah.
I got through 2 episodes and I thought, no, leave the past in the past. Don't go back. You can never go back. Fucking hell. Seriously, give it a try, Dal. Go on Amazon Prime, look it up. Both seasons are there.
I've already dipped into
Yeah.
it. And it's like, I'll have a quick watch.
Oh, my Lord.
The only episode of that I remember is when he made it rain upside down.
on his flying cloud.
I think so. And it was
Yeah.
just raining upwards.
Yes.
They were trying to fill their bowls full of water. And it's like, but it's raining upwards. We can't fill our bowls up with water.
Mm.
And then, that's where my childhood ended, really.
Yeah. Yeah. You just kind of go, oh, God.
I know what you mean about the dubbing on it, though. By it's you listen to it and you think, somewhere out there in the universe there's a trade federation missing its diplomat.
Now there was 2 of them.
There's 2 of them.
Drop. Drop. Release the robots. Do a ground attack. We must hurry. It's like, Jesus Christ, George Lucas, where are you, man?
It was a stone monkey.
The nature of monkey was irrepressible. Yeah, so I quickly ran away from that lest I be hoisted up in front of some kind of committee. And then finally, last thing I watched was this thing that's just doing the rounds on iPlayer called Small Profits.
Oh, yes.
Has anyone seen this?
Yes,
No.
I watch Small Profits.
Oh,
No, I've never watched it.
it's very good. It's only just it's like 6 episodes, and it's going out weekly on the BBC. 3 episodes are out terrestrially, but if you go on iPlayer, you can binge all 6.
Yeah, by Mackenzie Crook.
Yeah, by Mackenzie Crook, exactly.
Detectorists.
Oh, right.
And the new Wurzel Gummidge.
Yes, and it's really strange, magical, realist fantasy thing. I don't want to spoil it too much because I think you should watch it and make your own mind up.
And unless you know going in, the better.
Yes, very much so. It feels kind of almost like a Terry Pratchett novel in some ways, with some of the fact that it's trying to keep it all nice and on the level, but there's strangeness afoot. That's
With
all
a
I'm
name
saying.
like Small Profits, it does actually sound like a Terry Pratchett novel.
Well,
really does sound like
there is that sort of Terry Pratchett sort of, shall we say, sort of philosophical humour. It is quite whimsical, but sometimes when it's funny, it is fucking funny.
It is definitely.
I'll just say the paint mixing speech
The buckets.
and the buckets. That was television gold. The bucket scene. You'll know when you see it.
Yeah. I can't really say too much about it beyond the fact it's a story of a man who works as basically an unbranded B&Q. That's all I'm going to tell you. And he's missing his girlfriend, and that's about it, really. That's all I can really tell you. He's missing his girlfriend. She vanished, and essentially, he works at a B&Q. Oh, and his dad's played by Michael Palin. But that's about it. That's all I can tell you. When the story leaves the road and goes off into Crazy Go Bonkers land, it's done in a way where you're just sitting there going, "Oh, okay." You don't sit there going, "What the fuck?" You literally just go, "Yep, fine. I'm with this. I'm on my way." It's funny. It's gentle. It's whimsical. It's got a strange fantasy edge to it. It's also touching in some ways. in some ways, it's got the same kind of vibe, if not necessarily the same content as what I was saying about Wonder Man, which is that whole thing of you sit there and you're watching it for the characters and you like the characters.
Yeah.
As opposed to watching it for a story that's really kind of deep and meaningful. You enjoy being in their presence. And the situations that evolve around them, you sit there and go, yeah, I'm down with this. No matter how, wherever this train goes, I'm going to follow it. And it's Small Profits is really quite nice and lovely and fun, and yeah, I enjoyed it. And Carol and I, we started it on Sunday afternoon, and we binged all 6 episodes before Sunday evening, and yeah, really enjoyed it. So there's a big thumbs up from me. So there you go.
Oh.
Yes. So, we will leave it there. We don't have any feedback for Young Sherlock Holmes. May not surprise anyone at all. But if anybody does have any feedback for this episode or any of the others, you always know how to contact us. You can get in contact with us using Facebook. You just leave a message underneath the episodes. Go to facebook.com/group/The Black Dog Podcast, or you send us an email, feedback@blackdogpodcast.com. Right. To keep things on track and on time, and the fact that it's actually 10 o'clock on the nose, oh my God, let's finish it here. Let's just roll the jingle, and then Papa Zulu, Bravo, Tango, Tango, Gherkin, Gonad, over to Warfare. Roll the jingle. Right, so Warfare is the 2025 war film written and directed by Ray Mendoza and Alex Garland, based on Mendoza's own experiences during the Iraqi War as a U.S. Navy SEAL. The film depicts an encounter on the 19th of November 2006 after the Battle of Ramadi. The script is drawn from the testimonies of the platoon members and is presented in real time. The film stars Defero Woon Ai Tai. Okay. Will Poulter, Cosmo Jarvis, Kit Connor, Finn Bennett, Joseph Quinn, and Charles Melton. The film was released on the 16th of March 2025. Oh, so not too far away from now, actually. Almost a year old. And had a budget of $20 million. How much did it make at the box office, Jim?
3 million bullets that didn't seem to hit any one of those cunts on the balconies.
Okay. Darren.
One very large IUD or IOD, what the hell they call it?
If it's an IU, if it's
Careful now, careful.
Yeah. I think
no, let's go with IUD. Let's go with IUD. Let's go with that.
Oh, your poor girlfriend.
Fuck it, I'm going to own it. Yes, there we are.
You're going to own that mistake.
Yep. an IUD the size of a fucking satellite tracking base. There we go.
She's got an IUD that blew up a tank. Right, okay. Elton.
Well, I was going to say one IED and 20 million body parts all over the place.
Ah, well, you see, you're all wrong, right? Because what it actually made was blow the claimer. Go there. There you go. Perfect silence. Silence. Silence.
Roger.
Over under. Over is over.
Charlie, over.
Tango Bravo.
Charlie Tango Tea Kettle Barbecue.
Chicken risotto. Marmoset kangaroo. Anyway, right. So let's go around the table, find out what everyone thought about this without spoilers. Not that there is much spoilers because the whole thing's basically documented, but hey ho, right? And we'll go around the table. Darren, you picked this, so you go last. Yep. So, firstly, has anyone actually seen this film before?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, well, seeing as you spoke up first, Delton, you can go first. What did you think of Warfare?
I flipping love this.
Mm-hmm.
This is right up my street. I love these sort of things.
Mm-hmm.
I can watch these until the cows come home. I love them to pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I love how they are. I didn't. Well, did I know? No, I didn't know it was part of a real life thing at all. So it was nice to find. I always like that when they do like that glossary at the very end, not giving anything away, but you know.
Mm-hmm.
I always quite like that. This is just in my wheelhouse of stuff I really, really like.
Mm-hmm.
War movies. I can watch these all week, every week. Love them to pieces. So,
cool.
Yeah, I liked it.
Okay. Jim?
So I'd not seen this before. I've not really heard too much about it. I think very much kind of like, I've seen quite a few of these men on a mission in a real recent war, need rescuing sort of stories. And I'm very much kind of like, yeah, I did Black Hawk Down, and that was the thing. Do I get a pass from these? However, I was really this was something else. This is how you do this properly.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's one that I really, really dug this. And it was kind of like, wow, well, the film's over. I thought it was only half an hour. Because I was just so invested, like just being there. And it's just complete antidote to the normal, what I call the recent war movie bollocks, where, we're doing something about, like, you know, Iraq or Afghanistan, and it's going to be proper, but it's the same old gung-ho horse shit. Where this the complete antidote to that. When I read about the people who made it and how it was made, it's going, yep. And see, you know, the guys there, they wanted this story to be told and told how it actually goes down. So give people kind of, this is what it's like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think brilliantly filmed without a lot of stupid, pointless trickery and gimmicks. And the sound design is exceptional. I was very, very impressed. It was kind of like, wow, that's raised the bar for war movies. That, you know what I mean? It's because it just really shows you how it is.
Cool. Okie dokie. For me, I will say this is a game of two halves for me. From a filmmaking perspective, everything you guys have just said is my same viewpoint. I found the sound design, the impact, the experiential thing of it very, very impactful. You don't ever feel like you're relaxing for a second. It's constantly like in your face and constantly driving you forward. The problem I have is that, and I think this is, and now looking at myself in this, I think my problem is I don't do war movies in general. I find that I can't. It seems really weird because I will watch something that has a similar theme, but when it comes to like real war movies, things like this, things like to a certain degree, Saving Private Ryan, to a certain degree, Band of Brothers and all these kind of things. Was it what's the other one? Fucking Full Metal Jacket. All these kind of movies. There's two halves for me, or Black Hawk Down, definitely. There's two halves. On the one hand, there's the filmmaking side, and you go, oh, look at that. Look at how well it's done, how well it's executed, how authentic it feels, how impactful it is, how, tense it is. But on the other hand, the story is essentially nothing. And I as hard as this film, and we'll probably get to this, as hard as this film tries to be agnostic about its political leanings and all this kind of thing, there's always underneath all of these movies is a certain level of jingoism. Not necessarily as strong as like some movies, where immediately you have the lone trumpeter going while a slow-mo helicopter goes over your head. But there is certainly something there which really pushes my buttons, and I just go, no, just fuck off. I'm not going to sit here and have people tell me that these guys were perfect. And this has a very similar thing, which we will definitely get into in the review. And so I find myself turning off. I find myself watching it as an exercise in filmmaking rather than a film I want to actually be involved in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, like I say, that's not to say it's a bad movie. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just talking about from my personal experience. I look at something like this and I just go, nah. I'm not sitting here while everyone shouts at me and then tells me that they're all, shows me that they're all heroes in really tough situations and all these things are really important at what they're doing. And then there's a big gunfight and then everyone fucks off and whatever happens. And we're still supposed to go, in some sense, whether it admits it or not, we're still supposed to secretly inside go, America, fuck yeah. And it kind of rankles me a bit. So I kind of found myself just admiring the filmmaking rather than enjoying the film. I didn't enjoy the film itself at all. I got really quite fucking jingoistic bollocks, and then yet I knew that it wasn't being jingoistic, or is very strongly trying not to be. So yeah, I had a real mixed bag with this one. But like I say, I completely acknowledge that's my general reaction to straight war movies, for want of a better term. Yeah, but anyway, so we'll get to that in a minute. Dow, what about you?
Yeah, right. So I confess to being, a bit of an Alex Garland fan. Okay, I mean, I've seen a lot of his stuff, and I've liked a lot of his stuff. And I think my expectation for this film was built up because I watched Civil War, and I thought, I know what he did with that. I know how I felt with that film. It was tense just about all the way through it, in ramping it up in certain scenes. I'm expecting this to be one, just like I'm going to sit there with my fist clenched all the way through it. Okay. And I'm going to feel that tension rising and everything. Yeah. So it was a real surprise to find that I didn't feel like that at all. If I've got to best describe the way I feel about this film, it's like being presented with your favourite meal, okay? And you look at it, you think, fuck me, this is going to taste great. I've been waiting for this for ages. Oh, yes. Let's get in there and nosh. Let's do this. And then you eat it and you think...
Get in there and nosh. That's one for the poster.
Yeah, okay. You said that.
You get in there, you eat the meal, and then you sit there thinking, well, that was all right, but there was something missing. I should be feeling something watching this.
Yeah.
And I don't.
Right.
It's like I can see everything is right and everything is in place.
Yeah.
But it's like it's just the sensation for me on this was very numbed. I think Civil War, personally, did the whole people caught in combat a whole lot better. The sounds, the use of sound in Civil War for me is what I was expecting for them to do in this film, and they did it once, and that was it.
Right.
And for something like this, if you really want to present what it's like in battle, in the heat of battle, then you've got to say to people, right, stick a pair of headphones on and turn this up. And just be prepared to be slightly shell-shocked by the end of it.
Yeah.
Because the sound is important. The sound is very, very important. Because it gives you a small grain of what it's like to be caught in that situation. And like I say, everything I should have felt more. I should have felt more for this, but I didn't. I was surprised. Maybe I need to watch it a second time. I don't know. Because it certainly doesn't hang around.
No.
You know, that's it. It's a very short film compared to what some of this could be. So, yeah. The components were all there. It was good. But for me personally, it had something. There was something missing, and I'm not sure what it was.
Okay. So overall, a bit of a mixed bag on this one. 2 for and 2 against. Well, I say against. Unsure.
I'm more sort of in the middle, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right. Well, we'll get to this. Let's talk about it. Let's see if we can do a podcast that isn't as long as the movie.
Or even longer for the movie.
Or even longer, because this is only a 90-minute thing. So we could probably review it in real time. But anyway, let's roll the jingle for the spoilers section. If you haven't seen this film, pause the podcast, go watch the film. It is literally 93 minutes. And then come back and we'll discuss it. But otherwise, brace yourselves. Spoilers! Yeah, just in case you forgot that jingle existed. Okay, so here we are in the spoiler zone. So first off, let's talk about the actual. Let's talk about the actual event. All right, because I don't want to get bogged down in me just going, oh, but I don't like war films.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to throw this out to all of you, and whoever answers, we'll just take it from there. What was this film actually about? What were these guys trying to do? This is the one thing that sits in my mind from the very start.
I get that. I really do, because I thought about that through the film, and it's like, what's their mission?
Yeah, because as far as I can tell, they walk into a house, they knock a hole in the wall, they do a bit of internal renovating, a fight kicks off, and they leave. Yeah. So, Jim, sorry, Dal, you were going to say something. Go on.
Yeah, no, it's, I like I say, I get where you're coming from on this. It's there was a for me. I obviously I missed a bit of conversation that went on, but yeah, I don't know what their mission was supposed to be either.
No. So over to you chaps who like the film, and I'm not saying it in a way that just says you liked it, defend it. I'm just asking you because you may have a better perspective on this than I did, because I was already in the grumpy place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, basically, they're pretty much kind of not quite behind enemy lines.
Yeah.
But basically, they're staking out. They know there are insurgents in this area, and they're up to something, and they're up to observe and just take appropriate measures, depending on what happens and what they're going to do, because they don't know what exactly they're going to do. And it is kind of as it is, they are rumbled before they have a chance to move, and then they have to get the hell out. And it's as simple as that.
But what is it that they're actually there for?
Well, that's a good question. Why the fuck were we there? You see what I mean?
Yes.
Topical as well.
Well, exactly.
We may be asking this question in about 6 weeks' time. Yeah.
But no, so they are there. They are scoping out the enemy. They know the enemy is amassing, and this isn't strictly a combat zone. It's not. This is kind of the bugger of a lot of modern warfare. It's not like the old days where we picked a field and we lined up by the side and dug in and shook stuff at each other. It's this modern sort of what they call hybrid warfare, where you're both sort of not tiptoeing around each other, but it's a game of cat and mouse, and in a civilian area. So they're trying to be stealthy. That they know there's insurgents in this area. They're looking to see where the headquarters is, what ordnance we've got to try and take them out. But they're rumbled, and have to get the fuck out of Dodge, basically, because they're not really there to open up a new battlefront there.
Okay.
But obviously, they don't want to leave a lot of their lovely high-tech kit for the insurgents to use against them.
Including a sledgehammer.
Well, yes. You always need a good, sturdy hammer when you're out and about, trust me.
Yeah.
Quite happy to leave the interpreter.
It never needs recharging. It never loses a signal. It never runs out of ammo.
Well, that's but that's a good point, Elton, isn't it? We're quite happy to send 2 scouts out to get gunned to shit, but you know what? Don't leave a fucking sledgehammer, because you never know when they might use it.
Yeah.
So go on, then, Elton. What's your take on it? Because I mean, Jim's had a crack at it. Go on.
I thought it was just about recon, because you have this team that we're following. You also have other teams as well. Because you hear that they're also being fired upon and they're being pinned down, and you've got other people going to help them and recover them as well. So the way I saw it, it was just about recon. That's what they were doing. They were scoping out exactly what was going on around that town, that city, whatever it is, and you're following their situation. Now, I think, Darren, maybe some of it is... I think the problem you may have with this is not a character piece. This is just a situation piece.
I will admit that they did kind of all seem like the same person.
This is what happens in war movies
12 times.
Yeah, I had this with Black Hawk Down years and years ago. When I first watched that, everyone was covered in the same grey dust. And as soon as that grey dust goes up, everyone looks exactly the same. It's white guy covered in dust in army uniform. And that's all it is. And sometimes a film or a TV show will have time for a character to come through that dust. Unfortunately, this is about a situation that happened. They said it's like happening in real time, and I'm guessing like the whole thing was done and dusted in 90 minutes. So you don't get, you're not going to find anyone's character in that. It's how these certain people that we've just been dropped in on, how they not even develop. It's what they respond to, how they react.
Yeah, I think the problem with that though is that they try to introduce you to these people right at the very beginning when they're all watching the Call on Me song.
Yeah.
And then it's all it is just a bunch of people standing in front of a telly dancing. And at first you think, oh, right, okay, so we're going to get the personalities here. There's the one who's kind of not dancing. There's the ones up the back who are kind of singing. There's the ones at the front who are being quite loud and leery and, that sort of thing. So you think, okay, if you're going to try and introduce people in a fashion, you can do that. I think I don't think it's a terrible waste of time to at least say this guy is called so and so and he's the CO and this one's the lieutenant and this one's the radio guy. To me,
I think, I think the problem with this is it's a real life situation. You have real life people involved in the making of it, and kind of producing it as well. That they've been asked for their input into what happened here, where did you go, what did you do, and I think that's where the jingoistic type thing comes from as well. It's really hard not to be that way because it's made by people who are really passionate about either their job or their flag or whatever's going on. And you're going to have an army feel to it. You're going to have these people also saying, well, 20 minutes before we were in there, we were like normal people just being like, look at those boobies on the TV. And they want to show that shot, even though in a filmmaking aspect, I don't think it quite works as well. I think it would have been better just being bang, dropped in there, and that is it.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think, Jim?
Well, I think as this is based on a situation, a real life situation. It's basically dramatizing what happened, or rather bringing to the screen what happened, recreating it is probably a better word.
Yeah.
And I think it very consciously, something I picked up on straight away, kind of, this isn't playing by Hollywood rules. This isn't, it's not following the kind of film school, this is how you write a script handbook, because once you do that, you're turning it into a story.
Yeah.
You're storifying things. And that's not what this film is trying to do. It's saying, right, jump in here. This is what it's like to be in a hot zone for 90 minutes. This is what soldiering is actually like.
Yeah.
A lot of it is just sitting around, listening, waiting for an order, and then suddenly it can all kick off and go utterly tits up and you're in hell, and you've got to try and fucking keep your shit together, do your job as part of a team, and get the fuck out of there. It's not about putting on a bandana and going out with 2 machine guns and killing 10,000 gooks or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This film very consciously at every turn really tries not to storify things in that way, because that changes the entire rules of the experience. When you have certain characters, instantly you're going, well, he's going to survive, he's going to die, he's the one who's going to crack up, he's the one who's going to fuck up. And you're kicking in all this sort of meta mind play with a story. Whereas this short circuits that by saying it's almost like, it's like a what's the word they use for when they're having a reconstruction in a documentary.
Yeah.
And that's what it's going for. This is to give you literally, you're like a little invisible guy just in that room along for the ride.
Yeah. It is a movie just in a room, really, isn't it? You do. I'd say 90% of this movie is in that room.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, we'll get to the whole thing with the room in a second. I mean, because I was going to say, because the thing that annoyed me partly was, but then I know that's actually the story that happened, so you can't criticize that to a certain degree. It's bulletproof from that perspective. Is like, you know, they go out there, they go to the tank drives off, they go back to the room, then they go back out again later on, and they say, okay, now everyone fall back to the room again. And it's like they keep going forwards and backwards into that in and out of that room, and it's just like, Jesus fucking Christ, either do something or don't, you know. But I know that, but I'm just, like I say, I know that's a bulletproof argument because they say this is what actually happened, so I can't really comment on that too much.
Well, it kind of makes sense as well, because there was a moment when they hit the IED, they dragged the two guys in, and they come under fire again by an unseen enemy. I quite like that the fact you, apart from the silly guy stood on the roof at the end of the street, you really didn't see the enemy at all. And I think that makes the best bad people in these movies. You're getting shot at, but you're not seeing exactly where this is coming from. But when they drag them in, they do say to go 2 rooms deep. I can't remember exactly the wording of it, but they're like, go 2 rooms deep, because then you've got a room in between you and the room that you're in. So that kind of makes sense. So the bullet's got to go through at least 2 brick walls to get to you guys anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I get that. That makes sense. I mean, again, there's nothing you can't say, and feel free to jump in there, Dal, because I'm about to get on the criticizing train, so feel free to interrupt. But all I was going to say is, you can't criticize the procedure or the events, because those are the procedures, those are the events. That's the experiential thing. I think, well, you can't sit there and you can't and ah at someone who's actually been there recounting their story and dramatizing it.
Do you know, I remember a film called Bohemian Rhapsody, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I remember that film, right? Okay, about a real life event. You know, that was supposed to be a truthful account of stuff, but a lot of that was done for entertainment. So I just have to wonder how much of this is straight up the truth of how it went down, and how much
John
of
Deacon
this
just
is
shouting, fall back.
Yeah. Tango, Foxtrot.
We will rock you. We will rock you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Fat bottom girls. Bicycle race.
Moving in.
So it's, I think when it comes to this, unless it's a documentary, I think you can question the telling of events. Plus, also remember, it states very clearly at the beginning, this is based on the memories of these guys. Now, let's take a look at the state of these guys during this film, shall we? Most of them were sat there, quite literally hugging their knees, right? Through most of this. There were quite a few of them that were traumatized because of what was going on, and rightly so.
Yeah.
Because, that's one thing I did like about this, the fact it didn't try to make anybody look like Captain America. Even the so-called people who you would think would be, the Captain America types, Will Coulter, for one thing.
Poulter, yeah.
Yeah, Poulter were left shell-shocked in this.
Yeah.
Right? They were all psychologically affected by this. Which says to me, I wonder how much combat they'd actually personally seen.
See, the problem is, while I totally get where you're coming from with that kind of argument, and I'm totally not saying you're wrong. The only problem is you can't have it both ways. Either you question everything or you question nothing. Because what I'm saying here is, you're saying how much of it's actually genuine, and then you're saying, but then they were shell-shocked. So, well, is that true? Were they shell-shocked? I mean, the problem is you pull on the thread and you start going into that, well, if that's not true, then that's not true, then X, Y, and Z's not true.
but this is my point is
Mhm.
it's telling you where this is coming from, right? Okay, so
Mhm.
as long as if they're saying that none of this was done for entertainment purposes, you know, just to like G the film up a bit, because as we all know, they were sat around for most of it doing nothing.
Yeah.
Right, waiting for an order to come in.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you know what, we're giving you all this money to make a film. Can you, because the studio does get involved. Okay, come on, let's face it, right? Okay,
Yep.
they want this thing. They're doing this for entertainment purposes, and entertainment is the key word here.
Mm.
Okay, so if they are saying that maybe, okay, let's say that they didn't interfere and said just do this as the memories tell you. Look at what was going on with them at the time. I'm saying the validity of the memories. If they were shell shocked, how reliable is the narrator in this?
Well, it's not a single narrator. That's the point.
No.
Very true.
See, because looking at the wiki, and it is very thin. I'll say this. So I'm just reading between the lines here. That Ray Mendoza, who was actually Ray from the actual film,
Yeah.
He's recalling his experiences, and then all the other soldiers are speaking. He's directing it, and Alex Garland decided that he would write the script into a narrative, by using all the memories of the people in it. So,
Right.
so as far as the story's concerned, it's constructed up to a point because Garland's got to take all the different stories that he's got from everyone else and construct them into a narrative beginning and end. So that I kind of understand, and that's why, you know, if someone's shell shocked, they are shell shocked. Their story kind of stops. They disappear from the film.
Yeah.
And then someone else is there and they are recalling the story from there on in, like when that second team comes in.
Yeah.
So then the perspective shifts to the second team because those are the people who've spoken to Garland and told him their bit, which is why when one guy's lying on the floor bleeding out, another one's lying on the floor having his legs stuffed full of gauze, one's lying on the floor because he stabbed himself with fucking morphine, two are stunned to buggery by the explosion, and then two are sort of shitting themselves by the window. That's why the story suddenly clears up in terms of what's actually about to happen once the other team turn up, because that's obviously the narrative coming to Garland. So
Yeah.
I take what you're saying. You know, how genuine can you be with some of this stuff?
Well, it's more going on your point of you can't question this back, and it's like, well, I think you can. You know, I really think you can kind of question some of it.
Yeah,
because it's, you know, it was a pretty hectic situation they were all caught in.
yeah.
So, you know, but it's like, is this straight up exactly how the soldiers are telling it? Or is some of this put in there to G the film up and to make it a bit more entertaining, which sounds a bit sick, but it's...
Yeah.
And we know that this goes on, right? Hollywood quite happily admits this, right? History and entertainment are they've got a very strained relationship, I think, when it comes to making films.
Yeah.
Braveheart. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I think you can maybe question it, but it would be interesting to find out if the studio did kind of make noises about, well, we've seen what you're doing so far, you know, and we're kind of concerned that, you know, there's not enough oomph in this, or there's not enough action.
I'd imagine there was a conversation where they're like, okay, this is what happens here, this is what happens here. We need to link these things together. There needs to be some sort of concrete to actually hold all this structure together.
Yeah.
Are there any other?
Well,
Sorry.
I don't mind that because I think you need that. Otherwise, it becomes a documentary. It becomes this happened, then this happened, then this happened, and that's not how movies flow. You know, sometimes it's this happens because of this happening, and this happens, which then creates this sort of situation, and that is the director and the writer's way of putting it all together. Whereas you get 20 army guys in the room going, well, this happened, then you're just telling stories.
Yeah.
So
I'm yeah, go on, sorry, carry on.
I don't mind them knitting it together and bending the truth, because I think the director and the writer would have spoken to the people involved and said, we are telling your story, but we need to get from you and that and this and that and tell it as a story. So we need to do this to do that. Do you mind? They would have said yes, and then they go with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just looking on a couple of web pages about how basically around the thing, those who have fought in Iraq, is warfare film accurate? And the general consensus is yes. Though there is some question about people going to pick up a fucking sledgehammer in the middle of a live firefight. But overall, it's generally considered to be quite accurate. I mean, the film doesn't portray anyone in a particularly bright light. I mean, especially the whole thing about, we have to run up the decision to get you evac'd up the chain, and then someone going, well, fuck it, we'll just pretend to be the CO and they'll say yes, and then send the tanks again. So I'm not going to. I mean, I know what you're saying, Dal, and I totally get it. I mean, like as you say, we've seen enough biopics, especially, was it last year or the year before, when we were doing like Straight Outta Compton, and then we did a Bohemian Rhapsody, and then Rocket Man, and a couple of others.
Well, what about the James Hunt one?
Oh yeah, Rush.
It's like, Rush, where they've had this big rivalry, and then you find out actually in real life those two drivers lived together in a shared a flat at one point.
Yeah. So I do take your point, and to be quite honest, I know this would be normally more of my cynical take. How genuine is it? There's even a thing about it on the overview is the film is acclaimed for its authentic, chaotic, and unfiltered portrayal of combat, say sources such as The Guardian, Time magazine, and various things on Reddit. And the show of force is all accurate and all that kind of stuff. I guess the question I have is, as an experience, yes, great, totally understand. My question after that is, and this is going to sound really frivolous and stupid, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What was the point of the film? And I mean that by, yes, you get to experience the gunfighting. You get to experience that war is hell. But without diminishing the people and their experiences in it, I think we've done war is hell for ever since cinema existed. Mm-hmm. So my question is, what was... I don't want to say what was the point, but it is the kind of like this thing just to kind of just go, just to essentially turn up, shout in your face, and then fuck off. It's just like...
Which is kind of what it did.
Exactly. It just kind of sort of rocks up, goes, and then just fucks off again. And you're like, right, okay. I'm trying to kind of get my hands on it, because all I could do is just sit there and experience it like watching a roller coaster. I didn't get anything out of it other than essentially being shouted at for 90 minutes.
Quick time events. Press Y.
Yeah, exactly. It was like that. You were watching things that you were sitting there going, fuck, look at that. Fuck, look at that. oh fuck, look at that, and then getting to the end of it and going, okay. Jim, did you come away from it, apart from being viscerally, hammered by it? Did you come away with a better understanding of the people or the events or anything like
it's
that?
not really asking to understand the people or the events. It's understanding the situation, and that's key.
Yeah.
And we've had dozens of War is Hell movies.
Yeah.
But there's very few, I would say, that get even remotely close to the truth.
Yes.
Look how these guys behave. And, everyone's got their role. And it's light years away from what we normally see soldiers doing.
Yeah.
Look at those absolute fannies in Alien, Space Marines. Get out the shuttle. I will do some posing in the dry ice. Fuck off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I was in Xenomorph, I'd have took all of them out before they even got into the fucking shelter because they were arsing around posing.
Yes.
But
in fairness, they did come a cropper, and all of them came a cropper because they were absolute panic attacks straight away.
Yeah, whereas these guys, they're looking out for each other. You know what I mean? Everyone has their role in a team. They're not just like charging out there. It's very cautious. You know what I mean? It's like every man counts. I know everyone. The horror is that they all actually are expendable, and they know that. But there's no need to throw lives away unnecessarily. And that's the great paradox of war.
Yeah.
And I think it's actually just seeing how proper soldiers are, as opposed to how we normally see soldiers in movies where they're acting like fucking maniacs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's what the film is about. This is about this is. We're going to tell you a war story. It's going to be very cinematic. It's going to be a really, really hell of a roller coaster of a film. But at the end of it, you will know what real soldiering is like, as opposed to, even things like Black Hawk Down. That's very, very storied, and it's still got a high gung ho bullshit.
Yeah.
Level. You know what I mean? It's Hollywoodized.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where this isn't. This uses. We always say a film should show, not tell.
Yes.
And this took to the nth degree because it's really doing its best not to tell you a story. Because to tell you a story is to start lying about things and to have people doing things that people wouldn't actually be doing. There isn't time for, well, Sarge, if we get out of this, I'm going to buy a farm and shoot my dog and blah, 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 maybe marry my cow, kind of crap. You know what I mean? There's no time for those sort of bullshit speeches and shit like that. You've got a job to do and you've got to keep your shit together.
Yeah.
And people you sort of mentally earmarking, all right, he's a tough guy sniper. He's a wise leader. It doesn't pan out like that. Yeah. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, the gloves are off. Oh, Christ.
Yeah.
All those years of film school are wasted. I don't understand what's happening.
Yeah.
Where's the 3-act structure? I need the handrails. You don't have that.
No.
And I think it's very consciously doing that. And it is about showing what soldiering is really like.
But okay then. But then so I take your point. Elton, you got anything you want to add to that one?
I tend to agree with what Jim has just said about it showing what soldiering is all about. Take the moments where they're looking at the laptop. They got their little aerial out as well. They got the air. I don't know what they're actually using to do the.
Must be some kind of recon drone.
Yeah, maybe some sort of drone flying around.
Yeah.
Like some sort of massive drone, not like the little ones we have
yeah,
nowadays.
not like a fucking sort of not like the thing you bought down Mankind or the fucking gadget store.
No, that's right. No, a proper one. An absolute proper one.
If you're lucky, it connects to your phone about once every 5 times, but it's actually in your living room.
Oh, I've lost it. I ain't got no picture.
As you sadly watch it just fly off into the distance.
As it goes over the neighbour's fence.
Yep, that's it. It's gone.
The neighbour's dog just grabs it as well. It's just that first person view of a dog running away with your drone.
Yeah, someone's put a model of the Millennium Falcon around the photo, so it's going. Zzz, oh, look, it's a Millennium Falcon.
Yeah,
go on.
But
anyway, sorry, carry on.
You have like the stack up moments where every war movie tries to get realer and realer. If that is a word, getting more real every single time and make it more and more accurate, because they look at the other movies made before and go, oh, there's a little bit Hollywoodized and not quite. Because like Black Hawk Down, when that came out, that was a film that just hit you. It didn't have a 3-act run. It just had start and then finish, and everything 2.5 hours in the middle. It was just, it wouldn't let up. But then, as you say, if you go back and watch it, it's a little bit Hollywood-esque.
Yes.
You know, you got Ewan McGregor grinding coffee and Orlando Bloom falling out of a helicopter and stuff like that, you know. But when they do the stack up on this, it becomes more real when you have them counting down, you have the radio and all the comms going on over the top of it. You say, what is the point of the movie? And I would say every soldier would like his story to be told. And that's what they're doing here. They're just telling another group of soldiers' story. And I personally think they're always going to be interesting, because it's like a video game, like a football video game. Not one match that you play, not every film that you see, not every operation you have is ever going to be exactly the same. They're all going to be different. They're all going to be moments. They're all going to be highlights and lowlights and all the way through. You're never going to repeat yourself unless you're redoing the same thing again and again. But I think every soldier wants their story to be told. And I think that's why we're here, just to tell, so that they know that they're heard in their situation, what they gave up for this.
Do you think that's in the list of things that are important in this film? Out of the top 5 things that it's trying to push across in this film, do you think the experience of what it's like under fire, or about these guys, which aspect do you think is above the other? Do you think it's the experience of being under fire, being caught in this sort of trap with just hell breaking loose? Do you think that's the priority, or do you think it's the soldiers? Do you think it's actually them and their experience?
I think this movie is there to tell you what that mission, their story was like under fire. I know that's kind of pushing the two together.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
I would say that it is showing you what the realism of being under fire is like, but using their story.
Yeah, as a sort of framework to drape it over. But if that's the case, then fair enough. I can, again, some changes are bound to happen. And it's like, do we know if any two characters in this were an amalgamation of, or any one character? There weren't. No, they didn't.
Because did you not see the end credits? Or did you do what I initially was going to do, which was just flick it off as soon as it went warfare up on the screen?
No, I did see those. And I saw there was there were a good few people in there that actually were real. Even though I'm not sure of the point of the blurred out photographs.
Because they're probably still an active
still
duty,
serving.
Maybe.
Still serving,
Yeah, I know, but it's that whole thing of, then why bother putting that at the end at all? Because it's just like, What's that?
To
bit
show
there
that
for?
everyone in the film was actually real and weren't actually a composite of 3 or 4 different characters.
Yeah. I mean, that's that. Yeah. I mean, that is kind of the thing, isn't it? It's kind of, that is the answer to the question. I mean, but okay. I mean, talking about the end bit, because I think that's where finally my which says a lot that I got to the end before it happened, but where my patience finally snapped with its I'm agnostic, honest gov kind of vibe. It was trying to do all this kind of, we're not glorifying war. This is how it feels to be in war. All these things that are happening, and war is hell. This is horrible situation these people were in for 90 minutes. Tense, terrifying, moments of boredom, moments of action, all that kind of stuff. And then they show you the end credits. And now I know, again, this is purely my own personal take on this. So I know there's no explicit things said about it. But at that point, when it starts doing all the guys who were actually in it rocking up on set, doing the "Hey man, I thought you were gone, hey" sort of thing, and then you see like montages of the making of the film with them sort of snapping out of like the set and swinging the guns around and all that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I went from okay, so this has just gone from experience to recruitment video, because in my back of my head I had the song sung by Bill Murray in Stripes, pick up service, pick up challenge, did itself aboard, Army, Navy, Marines, and I'm just like, you've gone from war is hell, we're not selling this, to look, we're all buddies here, and look, all these people were here, and look at all this stuff we did, and look at all the hardware we've got, and look how authentic we were doing, and look at all this stuff. And it just suddenly goes from, we're just showing you how it was, to look how much fun we had playing guns in the desert. It's just like, Now, again, like I say, I know this is totally my personal read on it, and I already accept the fact that my take on war films is not going to be anyone else's, because I have that reaction to war films in general. But at that point, my patience just went, oh, right, okay, there you are. You've played a blinder of a hand up to this point, and now you're suddenly going, oh, look. And it felt, okay. At Turner, we used to have the head of the security at Turner was a guy who was in the Territorial Army, and he always would be very stoic and very straight-laced. But if you got him in the pub and you talked to him about anything war-based, oh my God, he turned into one of those guys who's always down the paintball, manages to pull off 1,000-yard shot from 100 yards, and all this sort of thing.
Yeah.
And you just go, oh, just fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
And that end montage felt like that guy. It felt like we'd done all this stuff and we'd been very stoic, and James Bond's been there and all this sort of thing. And then all of a sudden you go into the pub and James Bond turns out to be a filing clerk who just happens to own a license of a Walther PPK BB gun. It's just like, oh, just stop it. How do we all feel about the film's agnostic take? Because I say that because that was one of the big selling points on it, and that was the way it tried to play it straight all through the movie. And as you guys have already said, it's about how it feels to be in this situation. Did you feel at any point that suddenly it went from, that it wasn't being as genuine with its intentions as it seemed initially?
No, frankly.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
I think it was just more kind of like, oh, here are the real guys. And, it's one of those things kind of, oh, okay, oh, so right, that's that guy, that's that guy.
Yeah.
And you kind of, oh, yeah, then you see him helping out, sort of advising, making the film. But I think if you've sat through the entire film I don't think you're going down the recruiting office unless you got fucking rocks in your head, frankly.
Well, no, exactly. No, I totally get. I was exactly in the same mode there, and I also saw a review later on where someone wrote down something like, "If you see this film and you think the army's for you, then what the fuck's wrong with you?" And I totally agree with that. But it was just more that sudden tonal shift of sticking the bits on the end. I mean, I get just photos of this person was played by this person was played by this person. That's fine. But there was just that little bit where they suddenly went into the behind the scenes stuff of people
purely to show that the guys actually had some input,
which is fine.
You know what I mean? But I think it's also it gives you kind of a happy ending for them that they got through this. They survived, and they're not actually just gibbering wrecks somewhere in a vet's hospital.
Yeah.
But considering we are talking about mere seconds in the credits.
Yeah. No, like
you know
I say,
what I mean?
I totally understand my biases coming from this. I'm not saying that what I'm putting on the table is 100% true or whatever. It was just the vibe that just derailed it entirely for me, because I'm already on a downswing for this thing, and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, come on.
I'm a sucker for that.
Yeah,
I really am. I don't mind. I like that you get told that this is a real event, and you're like, okay, fine. Well, you know, how real is this? And I think wheeling in, I don't mean that as like a pun or anything, but wheeling in the actual people. I honestly didn't mean that like that.
No,
but bringing in the actual people who stood there and did that.
Yeah,
it does make it more real, and it's all well and good saying, you know, this person was a real person, this person was a real person, here's his photo, here's that photo, here's that photo. But when you have that living, breathing person there, I don't know how, but it does add a little bit more weight for me.
So by that measure, and I know I'm picking on you, but that's not really right. What I'm doing, but it's just for an example. So by that measure, the only way you would have watched Straight Outta Compton or Bohemian Rhapsody is if we paused the credits and then showed you video footage of Ice-T, or, you know.
No, I don't know. These are unique events. You know, being a soldier, it's not that every day. It's not under fire.
God, no.
Like that every day. These are moments that they have.
Yeah.
And they want to tell their story, and they want to be there, and, you know, having them there telling their story, you know, it's from the horse's mouth. Yeah. There's a bit on Band of Brothers where they show you like these talking heads, these old veterans that are walking you through, and you have these veterans at the very beginning of each episode. You don't get told who they are.
No.
But that feeling when you get to the last episode and the last 10 minutes of the last episode, and they're showing you the people that you've been with for the last 10 episodes, and then putting their names to them, and you're like, oh shit, that's the real Winters, or that's the real Garnier, and you're like, now you fucking get it. Now you're like, oh shit, yeah, I went on your journey with you.
Yeah, I mean, I would counter that, and Darren, feel free to jump in, because I know I'm just running roughshod over this like I normally do, but it's just,
no, it's fine.
But Band of Brothers is multi-episode extended event, isn't it? So you have the time to go on their journey. You have the time to understand them and be with them and see what they went through and feel it. Whereas Warfare is 90 minutes of scream, then here's the people who are screaming.
Well, I just think it's good sometimes for the audience to realise that there is a real person behind that character.
Okay.
And because they are in a movie, they are a character until you show the living, breathing embodiment of that character and say, no, this was an actual real life person. If you met that person in the street, that is the person that went through that.
Yeah. Okay.
I will jump in with a
go
positive,
for it. Go on.
positive where this film is concerned. And I think this is the crunch point when you can tell whether they're being jingoistic, you know, being very patriotic, which is a dirty word these days, but when they're being very pro, you know,
pro-war.
the situation, pro-war and stuff, is accuracy. Okay. Now, on a firing range, that's one thing.
Yeah.
In a closed, controlled environment, being tested with your marksman skills is one thing.
Yeah.
But when you're in a situation like that, bullets have a tendency to miss their target because you're having to worry about getting shot and not standing there for 3/4 of an hour lining up the shot. And it's the fact that, yes, I'm pretty sure you saw the soldiers hit one or two of the insurgents
on the drone cams. You did,
yeah, but you didn't see the insurgents take down any of the actual soldiers at all, right? By means of firearms. They used the explosive on the tank to take them down, but that just shows you the whole difference in skill levels between those guys out there and the guys trapped in the building. The guys out there had their number or had their numbers, but they were very unskilled fighters.
All right.
So I did like that about the film. The fact that not people weren't dropping like flies because you've got 30 insurgents, made up of farmers, bakers, carpenters and all that, who are a dead shot, and they're not. Okay, that's the thing. But they work because they have the numbers to throw at the enemy, right? It's like they did in Russia during World War II when the Germans tried to invade Stalingrad, and they didn't have weapons at all. They had one rifle and a clip of ammunition between two soldiers, right? Okay. And they just threw bodies at the situation.
Yeah. It's what a friend of mine playing RTS games called the strategy of manning them to death.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Zerg Rush.
Yeah. The Zerg Rush, yes. Exactly.
Yeah. You don't have the hardware. Just churn out the troops and just throw them at them.
Yeah. Because, we've all done that in RTSs, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
We've got bored in the end. It's like, no, I want to end this now. This is it.
Stock up and overrun. Yeah.
I'm just going to build 20 siege tanks and just move them 3 inches up the map so they stop and just do that big artillery thing. But, I liked that about it. Because I sat there thinking, are they being a bit soft on this situation with nobody being taken out by bullets? And it's like, but it's both sides. Both sides are having trouble hitting the enemy. And it is because of the frantic situation they find themselves in. And it's like, that's nice. I like that. Thinking about this now, why they're doing that. That I'm pretty sure you would find that in the real situation. This is what it was actually like.
Well, yeah.
And the only way, the only death you're going to get is when they do that show of force, which I'm sorry, I just kept thinking that was a power up in a video game when they kept saying that. That's what it just reminded me of. Show of force. You've seen the meter go around and it's flashing at you. Oh, there we go. Special move.
Hadouken.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fusrota.
Sonic boom. Yeah. Go on. Sorry, carry on.
But, yeah, so I did admire the whole accuracy thing on this. So the accuracy with the bullets, the guns, and also taking into account that the enemy's weapons probably wouldn't have been the best kept or the most up-to-date weapons.
Well,
you probably find that, which area were they in? Because I can't remember where the actual thing took place.
Iraq. Couldn't tell you exactly where. I know it's a big place.
Where did the Russians invade? Was it Iraq or Iran?
Afghanistan, that was.
It was Afghanistan, that's it, yeah. So
Poland as well, fuckers.
No, it's just where they would have got their weapons from. Is it like from a war 2 decades ago and they've kept the same rifles?
No, Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage doing his rounds.
Yep, indeed.
Yeah. I mean, I will say the accuracy of it all is not something I questioned. Like I say, from a filmmaking and authenticity perspective, that was never anything that I questioned at all. I just didn't. That was never my problem. I think my problem always with war films like this is there's a... How can I put this and without being dismissive? Because like I say, I don't feel like it's a bad film, but there's a certain level of... There's a certain level of... God, there's no nice way of saying it because it'll just sound like I'm being a dick, and I'm not really. I'm trying to put it into words. There's a certain level of reenactment, like a sort of battle reenactment, like a sort of Ren Fair kind of vibe to certain war films.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
where there's a certain fetishizing of being accurate, where the point is how accurate can you be. And I'm not talking about accurate in just, do these things happen, but like just everyone's talking in code, everyone's wearing exactly the right gear, everyone's acting in exactly the right way, and people on the internet or wherever will pore over the wear and tear on the nozzle of a fucking M60 or tell me
about it.
Do you know what I'm saying? There's a certain fetishizing of war film accuracy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to knock it because people, we sit here week in, week out and take the piss out of things for not being accurate or not following the law. Fucking Alien Earth was nothing but me just going, it wouldn't be like that because, but so I understand where people are coming from with this, but I think part of my problem is when I had no story to glom onto beyond. This is what was happening. This is how it happened. This was it. And these are the people who were in it. I couldn't see anything beyond accuracy, experiential things, fetishizing of the gear. And like I said before, a certain, trying to be agnostic about the jingoism, but also in some ways kind of slyly going, cool, because the one thing you're asked to care about is everyone lying on the floor screaming and everyone stuck in the room as the bad guys are moving in. But what you're not asked to think about or consider or be upset about is the 2 scouts who got blown up by the IED, who got sent out like canaries in the coal mine, or the poor sods whose house is currently being decimated by like 2 military tanks and a bunch of insurgents, and only because the US knocked their fucking wall in. And it's just like, I get the agnostic bit, we can't judge and all this kind of thing. It was a situation that happened, but it often reminds me, as I was watching like that poor family just sort of stuck in a room while their entire house and world just turns upside down, and fuck knows what happened to them afterwards. But the film doesn't ask you to give a shit. But it does ask you to give a shit that the people who invaded that house are in trouble. And it always reminds me of the quote from Frankie Boyle, which is, America will bomb your country until there's nothing left, then come back 20 years later, make a movie about how sad their soldiers were from doing it.
There is a joke that comes to mind. A very dark joke. that comes to mind where this is concerned.
Mm.
And you get, I think was it George Bush and Donald Rumsfeld walk into a bar, and they say sort of like they walk in there, and the barman goes like, "So, how was your day, gentlemen?" And they go, "Well, today something quite major happened." They say, "Oh, what was that?" And George Bush says, "Well, today, 13,000 refugees and one stripper were killed."
Right.
And the barman goes, "A stripper?" And George Bush turns to Rumsfeld and says, "See, nobody gives a toss about the immigrants because I mentioned the stripper." So it just reminds me of that sort of thing you're mentioning there.
Yeah.
Where they don't give it's like, there were some locals who joined the Americans who at great risk to their own lives and family.
Yeah. Sent them out like the canaries in the coal mine, literally deliberately said, hold off until these guys get to the tank and maybe get blown up. And then it's like, right. And they get blown up. One gets blown in half. The other one disappears. Presumably he ran off or he got killed. And then it's like, and then there's a family in the house who are going to be absolutely fucked up the minute that the insurgents walk into that house.
But did you notice at the end of it, they didn't? They actually knew the soldiers had gone. No, at the end of it, because there's that thing where the insurgents just pick up and walk off.
That house will be tainted.
There isn't. Yeah,
it probably will be. Yeah,
I was going to say 2 minutes. 2 minutes after that doesn't count as the rest of their lives. I'm telling you, that place would have absolutely been fucked to buggery by any nutter who thought that they were somehow involved in getting the Americans in there. And to me, that's why the we're being just agnostic about it kind of rings hollow, because it's asking us to care about the soldiers and the situation they're in, but also showing that they're amoral to an absolute massive degree by, like I say, sending scouts out deliberately, holding back while the scouts go out and get fucked up. And don't give me they've only got 2 scouts themselves. The whole unit was a scout unit. And then in the meantime, the family in the house would just be like, oh, great, you've knocked our fucking wall in. You've brought attention to the entire town's worth of terrorists onto us, and then you fucked off, but don't worry, you got away.
Well, it's just I think actually maybe you are missing the point on that one, right? Let's just say that it's a little bit cleverer than we think it is.
Oh, okay.
Right? Maybe the point is here, it's a damning indictment of how things like the US military go into a place on a mission and, stereotypically tear shit up and then leave without so much as a see you later. I mean, look what happened in Afghanistan when they left there. Taliban came back. They just walked straight in and did what they did because the troops they left behind weren't really trained. They didn't give them. They didn't have as much backup as when the American military was there.
They didn't get them out either.
No.
Yeah,
that's a different kettle of fish, and maybe a little too political for the conversation, because I think any second now we're going to dive straight into Trump caused all of this shit. But
no, this sort of things has happened before Trump has come along.
Wasn't that Biden that pulled him out though?
No, Trump started the whole thing off and then got voted out, and then Biden came in and then followed, and then did the whole, well, the previous president said this, so we'll follow it through, which he shouldn't have fucking done, is basically it. Much like the fucking Iraq nuclear enrichment thing. Mm-hmm. Trump killed that because Obama did it, and then Biden goes, yeah, all right, fine, we'll follow it through. Like a fucking idiot. And now we're in the situation we're in.
That kind of thing is like throughout the history of their military. So it's not just a modern day president. It's
no, I'm not.
You've had this before. It's but this is what I mean. Maybe this is part of the damning indictment of that attitude. I mean, all good war films are anti-war films. The only pro-war films I've seen are possibly ones during, while World War II was going on, and Hollywood was producing pro-war films. Look at how brilliant we are. And after that, quite a lot of films to do with war were anti-war because they did try to show you the other side of it, the not so brilliant, the not so neat and tidy aspect of it.
Okay.
Maybe I don't know. I'm not saying it is. Maybe I'm giving them far too much credit.
Like I say, I've already laid my biases on the table. I'm not expecting to be right on any of this. I'm just throwing it out there because this is the stuff that's coming to mind as I'm recalling the film. I mean, Jim, what about you? Was any of that stuff in there for you?
Well, no, I think it is because it is very documentary. It's saying this is the situation. This is what's happening. This is how it went down. I think you have sympathy for the soldiers because you're seeing it from their point of view. Yeah. And unless you're a complete sociopath, it's hard not to think, Christ, if I was in that situation, how would I feel?
Yeah.
But I don't think, because it doesn't sort of invest them with any kind of character, it doesn't, give you all the usual nods and winks to say these are the good guys. You are left, even when you're watching it, you are aware, this fucking poor family.
Yeah.
You heard in this room, and you know what I mean? It's kind of, what about them? Is this, should they be doing this? But that's the point, though. I think it is all very even-handed. This is what happened.
Yeah.
We're not going to give you an op-ed on whether it's good or whether it's bad. This is what happened, and you can have a conversation about that in the cinema bar afterwards.
Yeah. Here we are. Yeah. Okay.
But I think the fact you do have things like the family that's always, it's always saying, well, this isn't kind of the Saving, Private Ryan bullshit of kind of, yes, they would expend all that manpower just to shave Ryan's privates.
Yeah.
Actually, you wouldn't have gone down like that. For all the film's realism and cinematic, war scenes, it's undercut.
Are we off of shaving Ryan's privates now?
Yeah.
Well, the Fauna remake was probably close to the truth. But, all guys together, long nights. You might die tomorrow.
Lots of weapon holding.
Every hole's a goal.
Just one biscuit. We've only got one left and no tea. Anyway.
Not gay if you're dying tomorrow by machine gun fire.
Cream in your coffee? No.
No, it's just the way I'm looking. What about you then, Elton? It seems we'd asked Jim and Darren's got his point of view and I've thrown it out there. What do you think, mate?
Of what? Sorry, I got so confused about like the biscuits and bit.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, the moral center of the film, because Jim's saying it's just showing it out as is, and for you to discuss after the event. Whereas I'm saying that the film was kind of slight, and I admit my own bias, but I was saying that the film wanted you to sympathise with the American soldiers and the plight they were in.
Oh right, yeah.
But not have any kind of but didn't couch any of that with a second thought for the poor scouts who were sent down the Canary coal mine, to the tank, or the family who were going to be left behind to pick up the pieces when the locals came back calling.
Well, I think this movie is the only people it actually cares about is the people that it shows its faces of. It doesn't show the face of the enemy. It doesn't really show the face of any of the other battalions or packs of other Americans or anything like that. You don't even get the tank drivers. You don't even see the people once they're in the tank. There's not a real long shot of them discussing anything or being quiet or anything like the stoic or anything like that. It's just doors are shut, they're off. What the film wants you to care about is the soldiers.
Yeah.
And for you to think about the family that you're violating. And they did just violate them. They rocked up, they took over their house, they bunged them in a room, armed guard, and that was it. But you don't really see them much. You only get glimpses of them every now and again. So I think it wants you to think about them, but not too much. Not too much.
Yeah.
But, it's about the soldiers. It's about their predicament and what they're going through and how they're reacting. It's got nothing to do with the family and how that's going to really destroy that family. It's going to really corrupt the kids there, going through that. It's just unbelievable, and I wouldn't wish that on absolutely anyone.
You could argue it radicalizes the children.
Well, yeah, it has that thing, doesn't it? I do feel really bad for the I think they were interpreters. I got the feeling that they were interpreters, and they just walked out and they probably activated the IED. And
and the worst than that was the fact that Ray stands there and says, "No, hang back, hold on, don't go until we say." So it sent them out there, knowing full well that they were completely on their own.
Well, they went with other people though, didn't they?
No, they didn't. The two interpreters went out first, and the guy behind them went to the men and stacked up the back and went, "No, stay still, hold fire, don't go anywhere," and basically told them to stay still.
I know they had two stacks, and I thought there was a couple of people that went out because then you had the guy who lost his leg. Well, the two people that got injured.
The guys they sent out were the canary in the coal mine.
Right. And then once they didn't get killed straight away, that's when the quote unquote brave soldiers went out to the tank.
I'll have to watch it again.
And as soon as they went out to the tank, that's when the IED was triggered. So, yeah, it was.
Well, yeah, I thought it was a bit shitty them just not doing anything with that body at all. I thought it was a case of leave no man behind.
Yeah.
And that was a case of, well, he's in pieces. What the fuck do you want us to do? He's one of you guys now.
Which half do you want? Yeah.
Not so much a man, more of a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah. And what they'll do is they'll find his identity and then go find their family.
Yeah.
Which is utter bullshit.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So to me, that feels like something that should be at least commented on or at least acknowledged. But the film's quite happy to just go, yeah, that's done. Now let's move on.
I understand what you mean. I understand what you mean. I don't. That's not what the film is about, though. That whole story. It's not a story movie. It's a situation movie. And once they're in the tanks and off, then that's the
story
end of
finishes.
Yeah, because they walk out into the street, and you're like, oh, it's look at the mess the Americans made. All the violence that was going on. As soon as the Americans fuck off, then it's all nice and quiet, and we can go out and play football again. So I think there is a little bit of commentary of what the American army is doing there. Of, America turns up, shit happens, they fuck off, and then it all goes back to normal.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, anyone got any last thoughts on this? Because I feel like I'm just going to re-rinse my own points. But has anyone else got anything they want to bring up that I haven't touched on or nobody's discussed yet?
There may be something to point out, and it's I wonder how this film would have been experienced by us had they, say, taken three insurgents and showed them with their families, getting ready for the day, talking to people, interacting, humanizing them, and then sending them against the soldiers and having their point of view in there as well. So you could see where the soldiers were coming from, what they were like, and why these people were attacking the soldiers in the first place. Because they were very faceless individuals. That's it. They were literally blobs with guns.
Yeah, I mean,
the thing is, you only know what the soldiers know.
Yeah.
And the power of this film is you're locked into that one perspective.
Yeah.
I think there's a very good film you could make from the insurgents' point of view and do it all from their point of view.
Yeah.
I think I think that would be very interesting, and
totally different.
I think that Alex Garland. I know you're not listening to this, but do Warfare 2 and do.
He sat next to me here.
Yeah, all right, but, if you did the flip side, that would be the world's best genius sequel.
Yeah,
you can see it from locked in perspectives from both sides.
Yeah,
that would be amazing. But to do it in the same film, you'd lose that immediacy. You lose that kind of sense of you only know what they know. You only see what they see. Yeah. And like, as Elton said earlier, what is scary in a firefight, it isn't. You can't even see where the bullets are coming from. You don't know where they are. They could be anywhere.
Yeah.
You don't know how many they are. You're only going on what other intel you're getting on the radio, where they are.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess that's that's something we've always mentioned, haven't we? What's scarier, the monster that you can see or the thing you can't? The thing in the shadows or the shark underwater that you don't see, or when a big rubber monster comes up. It's
I think if they did do what you said though, Jim, and they do say if he did do a sequel to this and it was the other side of the argument, I think you would have to treat the Americans exactly how the insurgents were treated in the first film, and you would have to literally have them faceless. You can't have any cameo appearances by people who've starred in those roles. You've got to have them as faceless as well.
No, because they would be. They'd be something they're in the house. You don't know how many they are. You can maybe see the glint of a sniper scope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's the unfortunate, horror of warfare is that these are just people, but in a combat situation, they are the bogeyman. They are literally coming to kill you.
Yeah, because
and you're going to kill them.
Yes, you can have a whole backstory about how one of them became like the best basketball player in the world just to lob that grenade through that tiny hole where the sniper sight was.
It's the I forget the name of it. It's the chicken, the Star Wars thing, where you're talking about the what's the chicken thing?
Chicken
thing?
Yeah.
Was it in Star Wars Episode 1?
Oh, shut the fuck up! I can't remember who made it. It was like the Comedy Central or someone like that.
Robot Chicken.
Robot Chicken. There we go. Yeah, the Robot Chicken of the the Stormtroopers, Gary the Stormtrooper and stuff like that.
Yeah,
basically.
I was going to start singing the chicken song. Hold a deck chair in the air, stick it in the and the berry.
I think we're running to the end of the conversation now.
Anyway, I'm going to wrap up me by saying the show of force when they had that F-18 just like buzzed the tower. Fuck hell.
Yeah.
Needed a pillow for that. Definitely.
What, you got a bit tumescent of that?
That was fucking awesome.
Bit of military hardware wishing down the road.
That was awesome.
Okay. Cool. I mean, again, that's cool. I think the more I think about it now, the more I think that probably the best time to have seen this film would have been at the cinema with a nice big sound system to rattle every kidney stone you've ever had in your life out of your body. And then that's that. Because I think part of this experiential thing I'm not getting is the sound and all
the sound, definitely, because you have the moments of silence as well.
Yeah.
But the visuals of someone screaming their head off, like that moment where they can't do the tourniquet, so he leans on it with his knee, and you're like, fuck, no, crying out loud, that would cane.
Do you know what? That bit where the IED goes off really had me sat there afterwards with my mouth open, just like, because I mean, that came close to the Civil War thing for me. The use of sound on that bit was very, it was jarring.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
cool.
That wow.
Hopefully we can do Civil War in the future, because I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting counterpoint to this one, where it does have more of a narrative through line,
it's a lot more. I think it's a lot more tense, considering the situations that the characters find themselves in, especially one in particular. No, I'm not saying anymore, but it's a more personal.
Well, it's a film with more morals than this one, if I may be so bold as to point that out.
Oh, yeah, it's very.
You've definitely got people you root for and people you don't, and you can see why you don't do and that sort of thing.
It's very scarily relevant for certain points as well.
Yeah, which is probably why it's not on any streaming service right now.
Probably, yeah. Well, it is. You can buy it, but it's not free.
No.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay. I think we'll wrap it up there, because I know you got to get off, haven't you, Elton? So, okay. So, I think we'll stop there, unless anyone's got anything particularly you want to bring up. Last knockings?
No, not personally.
Cool.
No, good.
Okie dokie. Well, okay. Well, hopefully there's some food for thought there. If someone's listening to this and wants to chip in their 10 pence worth, then the usual routes in Facebook and email, feedback at blackdogpodcast.com and facebook.com/group/the Black Dog Podcast. So send in your feedback if you have something to say about warfare. Right. I think we'll leave it there. But before we go, we have to find out what film we're going to do and also head on over to Pimp's Corner. So let's find out firstly, Jim, it's your choice. And when we come back, what are you going to be presenting us? What are we watching next?
Well, it's a little movie that I've not seen, and I've wanted to see it for a while, but I always sort of felt at the back of my mind, this would be a good Black Dog movie.
Oh God, I don't know how to take that, but yeah, go on. Yeah,
and apparently it has just turned up on Amazon Prime at long last.
Okay,
it was a rare occasion because I have a list of movies, and usually when it's my pick, I go and look and find they're not there.
Yeah.
However, so I was like, just turned up on Amazon Prime. I thought, get in, sorted. Been waiting to watch this for ages. Perfect. It's a Spanish science fiction thriller from 2007.
Oh, okay.
And it's called Time Crimes.
Ah.
Oh.
Crimes.
Crimes.
Nice. Nice one, Jim. Time Crimes.
So
Yes.
I have not seen it. I've spent literally years spoiler judging for this motherfucker. So, but so I thought this would be a brilliant. From what I understand, this would be a good movie for Black Dog. So I was waiting and hoping, and the gods smiled on me. The streaming gods, for once, accepted the sacrifice. And the large backhander I paid to Nacho Villalondo.
Nice. Okay, well then let's go around the table. Darren, have you seen Time Crimes?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Are you looking forward to it?
I would be able to give you a more accurate sort of like opinion on that if I knew what the fuck it was about. But
cool.
I don't.
Well, in which case,
I'm not doing anything. I'm just wish listing it on my Amazon account right now.
Cool.
Just so I can go straight to it.
Do not spoil it for yourself.
No, I won't. In fact, you know what? I'm going to download it onto my phone. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay. Brilliant. I feel like I might actually know the answer to this one, but Elton, based on your answer, have you seen this film before?
Yes, I have.
Thought so. I thought it.
I own this movie.
Well, that answers the next question. Are you looking forward to seeing this film?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Wow.
I thought this would please you, Elton.
Yes. Elton's Time Travel Week. Yeah. Okay. Cool. For me, I have not seen this. I saw a trailer for this back in whenever it came out, 2007 or whatever it was, and I thought to myself, I must go and see that, and then promptly left my mind, and I've never seen it since anywhere. So I am very much looking forward to seeing this film. I have no idea what we're getting into, but definitely interested, that's for sure. Cool. And Time Crimes is on Amazon Prime, as you rightly said, Jim.
Yep, indeedy.
Brilliant. Okie dokie. Right. Well, in which case, let's just wrap this up now with a bit of Pimp's Corner. Jim, what's going on Hypnagoria.com?
I've just released an episode reading of a Clark Ashton Smith story, and I have no idea what I'm doing for this week's show. So I ain't recorded yet.
TBD.
TBD, yes.
Brilliant. Okay, cool. And that's all over at Hypnagoria.com.
It is.
Brilliant. And Elton?
We just released an episode of the Grand Prix podcast where we're talking about the colours of the cars and what cars are going to be going round faster than other cars going round faster than in Formula One this year. It's two nerds talking about nerdy stuff, basically.
Dude, never apologise for nerdy stuff. None of us have ever apologised for nerdy stuff.
It is true.
This whole podcast is based around not apologising for nerdy stuff. Just be nerdy. Embrace it. We might not necessarily be as nerdy about that thing as you, but fuck it. Don't matter. Nerd. Anyway, right, and that's over at rogue2media.com.
Yes, it is, yes.
Brilliant. Okay, well, right. Well, there's nothing else from me, and I'm guessing nothing else from you, Darren.
That's right.
I'm goddamn psychic. So, yes, we'll leave it there. So, thank you very much for listening. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Elton.
No problem.
And we will be back in a fortnight's time, back in March, the second week of March, when we will be back to review Time Crimes. So, until then, thank you very much for listening. Take care, and we'll see you all soon. Tatty, bye.
Bye-bye.
Duh.
Water tango fruitcake.
See you next Tuesday.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me. Down the road, it's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on.
I only came for a kebab.